I still say one thing and I stand by it. And I think if Anthony Joshua should keep going on the trajectory he is right now, in the future when it's all said and done, everybody gonna look at him and we're gonna look back and everybody's gonna recognize the greatness in that young man. Before I go on, hit the like button, subscribe. Do not forget to comment. Common sense ideas and common sense comments are highly welcome. But in the event that is not your forte and you know you got some cells missing in your head, that's still cool. Drop something. The rest of us are just going to laugh and point at you. We're going to show you a little pity. And then we're going to hug you. You know, you come in here, your family. But that said, yeah, let me get back on track and get on the topic. I think, and I sincerely believe, and this is coming from looking at Joshua and following his career from the time he fought. I think the time I started following him, I think it was it Gavin or Nathan Gorman, one of the two, because I did notice him during the Olympics, during the World Boxing Amateur Championships, and then I dropped off. You know, I noticed him just like I'm noticing what's the name of this kid that Joby Clayton coaches now. That kid that's gonna be a superstar. I forget his name. I think Ben something, not Ben Davidson, Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker. So same way I was following Anthony Joshua's career until I think it was Gorman or Gavin, you know. And if you've been following Joshua, you know he was destined for greatness. And if you ever doubted that he was destined for greatness, you see he went straight into a second rematch with Andrew Ruiz, and he did the same thing, did the same exact thing with Usyk when everybody was saying take a preliminary fight in between, you know, take a tune-up fight. This dude was like, nah, I'm going straight in. You know, threw him into deep waters, he swam out. Second time, did he succeed? In my opinion, yes. Yes, because he went 24 rounds with one of the greatest fighters ever. You know, Usyk is going straight into the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. You know, with his achievements as an amateur, his achievements as cruiserweight undisputed, now he's unified heavyweight. And that leads back to the topic. A lot of these dudes point fingers at Anthony Joshua. He's not clean. He has to be using steroids. There's no way you can look jacked like that. There's no way you can look cut like that. You can't look buff like that. It's not hard work. It's not your genetics. It's not you not drinking and eating 24 burgers in a row. It's not you not drinking alcohol or doing cocaine like you know who. It has to be PEDs. And guess what? Each time someone pointed at that dude, every single person that pointed at him and tried to diminish his achievements, guess what? The universe shamed them. The universe called them out. This dude didn't even have to say a word. And the funny thing is, each time they got caught, he wouldn't even kick them while they were down. Oh my God, they lucky it wasn't me. I would give them a nice bedside kick in the front teeth. You know, each time they were down, he always say, well, you know, if they're guilty, then this has to happen, but I'm not going to kick a man while he's down. Can you imagine if Anthony Joshua was the one that got caught doping in a fight, leading up to the fight with Dillian White? Can you imagine what he would have told the world? If it was him that got caught eating boar's meat like Tyson Fury, or getting popped with nandrolone and all kinds of things in the system, Can you imagine if it was him that got caught doing the entire high aisle 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 like Big Baby Miller? Can you imagine if it was him that went 9 rounds, or was it 7 rounds? If Helenius was in his shoes, pretending like he put in mad effort, and everybody else was thinking like, yeah, how come? Helenius was like, his engine was crazy for like 6 rounds. You know, his engine was up there. That was unlike him. You know, and his punches was popping. So yeah, I think Anthony Joshua needs to start calling out these people, or maybe he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, because it's like the universe keeps looking out for him. It's like God or whatever you believe in, or whatever he believes in, keep looking out for him. Like, yo, don't say nothing. I'ma handle them. I'ma handle them, and I'ma disgrace them. I'ma shame them. You just don't say nothing. And I think it works out for him. You know, I can't say I got that much patience. Me out, yeah, maybe that's why sometimes God be letting me fight my own battles, because, you know, I would have went right for their throat. So, Robert Helenius got popped. I've been talking, what, like 5, 6 minutes? Robert Helenius, for those of y'all that do not know, got popped. He got an adverse finding in his VADA piss test. His piss burnt a hole through the test tube that they used to collect his urine. Burnt a hole. Acid piss. Volcanic piss. Like, if you spray that piss on farmland, that soil will never ever generate any plant ever again. It'll be condemned. The state would have to call a state of emergency and barricade that whole area. That is how toxic the piss, the urine, the piss that came out of Robert Helenius' testicles, that was how hot it was. These cheats. You know, that's why they always say when you point one finger, 4 point back at you. The next day, this dude, after the fight, he was there talking about, I gave him problems. I gave him I busted his nose up. I blackened his eye. Probably thought the masking agent they gave him was going to work. Let's find out. Somebody tell me in the comments. Let's find out if Robert Helenius has been hanging around Big Baby Miller and Dillian White. Because that's the only reason he probably had so much confidence that nothing was going to happen. He wasn't going to get found out. Now, all these dudes, they got to cheat to fight that dude. And that's why they don't like him. I keep telling y'all, I keep telling people, this is why they do not like him. They look in the mirror. He's usually what they wish they was. And they cannot stand it. They can't believe it. Like, you know how a lot of people, they try something and try something and try something, and when you try to do it, it just come to you easy because God blessed you and God just said, I'm going to make this thing easy for you. And it's so difficult for a lot of people and they cannot believe it. And in their head, you got to be cheating some way. You got to be cheating. There's no way this is so easy. And guess what? That jealousy lead them. They try to destroy you. And in the process, they destroy themselves. And this is what's happening to all these dudes. And this is why I think when it's all said and done, if Joshua keeps pushing, and I'm glad he's gotten to that mentality where he don't care if he loses. Of course, yeah, he do care if he loses, but it's happened, 3 times now? It's just like, whatever. Ali had a couple of losses, like 5 or 6. Joe Louis had his losses. Jack Johnson had his losses. Ingemar Johansson, Sonny Liston, Foreman, Mike Tyson, Lennox, Klitschko. You know, everybody, every great fighter had their losses. Ezra Charles, Max Baer, Jersey Joe Walker. You know, the way greatness is calculated is how many times you got up. How many times did you get up when you was knocked down? All that 50-0 Ali, Marciano and Mayweather. Yeah, whatever. You know, in the top 5, whenever I calculate my top 5 and I mention my top 5, the only reason I put Marciano there is I just put a token non-black guy. Not saying he wasn't a good fighter, but everybody he fought was washed up. They was past their prime. So yeah, I throw him in there after I throw Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. You know, honorable mention, number 5, I got to put Rocky Marciano. But to be real, he fought everybody else when they was washed up. Beat old Joe Louis, beat old Ezra Charles, old Archie Moore, old Jersey Joe Walker. You know, everybody he touched at that time was past their prime. But that doesn't take away the fact that he could fight. I say all that to say, when it's all said and done, if Anthony Joshua keeps going on this trajectory, he's going to be remembered as one of the greats. Because he's checked off the boxes, you know, or he's checking off the boxes. He hasn't really put in the social justice part that the remaining greats have marked off. You know, maybe because it's just nothing in his era. He tried with the Black Lives Matter thing and they try to discredit him when he tried to promote, you know, supporting your own in your neighborhood. You know, keep the money in your community. There was nothing wrong in that. That's what every successful tribe do. That's what they do. And he tried to promote it, but of course, you know, the slick undercover racists had to slander his name. Yeah, but it's not his era, you know. During Joe Louis, you had World War II coming up. You know, United States versus Germany. During Jack Johnson, there was a time it was just slavery was just, blacks was just coming out of slavery. So there was that, you know, the black pride versus the white racist aspect of America. And during Muhammad Ali's time, you have Vietnam. And that's why I think Mike Tyson, aside from the Desiree Washington fiasco, that's why I think he's just not up there when we count the greats, because there was no significant social justice issue for him to get involved in. And unluckily for Joshua, at least for now, it's the same thing. And, you know, Joshua is also not the most articulate person. He does tend to ramble on and go off track and not articulate his points succinctly. But he's a smart guy, you could tell. He's a very, very intelligent person. But he's checked off the box for like financial success. He's checked off the box for boxing achievements. So he's checked off those two. Maybe, and sometimes, it might be after his boxing career is over, we might see the greatness of the man. So it might not be during his boxing career. So there's still time. But I believe, and I hope, because it's not a hidden fact. I like that man. I think he's a good person. I think he's a good-hearted person based on what people say about him. Like the Ghanaian fighter, go seek out that story where this Ghanaian fighter, he always looked out for him. He gave him money. Looked out for Lawrence Okoli. You know, without Joshua's push, Lawrence Okoli would have never became champion. That's facts. That's why his mother, Okoli's mother, always said, nah, hell no, she will never. Okoli said it himself. His mother will never let him get in the ring with Joshua. And that's why you see him and Chisora love each other so much. That show would have died. The last show, which Helenius came for, would have died before Chisora ever laced up the glove to fight Joshua. So yeah, I think when it's all said and done, and I hope he's mentioned amongst the greats. Maybe not in terms of like top 5 or top 10, but I think when it's all said and done, his achievements in boxing, especially in heavyweight boxing, I would hope it wouldn't be easily forgotten, because he gave us very, very good nights. Him and Eddie Hearn. Pause. They gave us very entertaining events. Stadium fights. They brought stadium fights back. You know, this guy could fight a garbage can and have 90,000 people in Wembley. He could fight a wet paper bag and have people in Wales. If not for him, Fury would have never had a Wembley fight. That's facts. If not for Joshua, them using Joshua's name, Fury and Wilder would have never sold out Vegas. And even, did they even really sell out Vegas? Because we remember Audi was giving out multiple tickets, concessions, you know, started selling them at discounts. So yeah, that man brought so much money back into the heavyweight. Yo, this guy could fight Molina and sell out thousands, tens of thousands of tickets. He could fight Takam on short notice and sell out a freaking stadium. Parker. What's this dude that was shook and was already dead before he stepped in the ring with Wilder, that Wilder knocked him out in one round? I forget the guy that fought Ngannou, Lawrence Ngannou, the Nigerian Polish guy. I forget his name. Dominic Brazil. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. Dominic Brazil. You know, he fought Dominic Brazil and still filled out stadiums. So you can't really negate the impact Anthony Joshua has had on the heavyweight division. And I think in the future, it's going to be recognized, you know, and plus the fact that he's a clean athlete, promotes hard work, and he did not mind punishing himself in the ring and in sparring. But yeah, that's it, man. You know, till next time, peace.